So the story of the day is obviously Davante Adams to the Jets. Now, this signals one of two things to me. A, we all know this game is played by human beings. And one of the things human beings love to do is quit, especially when things aren't going well. You are going to see over these next few weeks, and Jets fans, this is a positive because I know they've been killing the Jets all day because I could go over all the reasons. Aaron Rodgers at 40 is no longer a false multiplier. Davante Adams at 31, 32 is no longer a top 5, top 6 wide receiver who makes a clear immediate impact. I could go over the firing of Robert Saleh. Seems like it was clearly not the right decision. I could tell you all this stuff, but I want to be optimistic. It's a Tuesday. I want to be optimistic. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm excited because, again, people, when it's not going well, it's easy to quit. Not, especially in football, where you are physically putting your body on the line on a game-to-game, play-to-play basis. It's easy to quit. You don't want to sustain that injury. Maybe you've already gotten paid and you're not trying to get hurt. Like, there's multiple reasons for teams to quit. And you're going to see a lot of that, especially as trades are allowed to start happening and guys can start requesting to go other places. Teams are trading away guys. You're going to see a lot of teams quit. The Raiders, who are 2-4, look like they're quitting. Got rid of Davante Adams. Max Crosby's potentially out of there. The Raiders, it looks like, as of this moment, maybe I'll be wrong, but it looks like they're ready to fold, quit. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have enough talent. Let's start looking at draft picks. There's other big media networks talking about should the Raiders tank. Since they have they're one of the only teams that don't have a rookie quarterback or a planet quarterback. But then there's teams who have not given up, and those are going to be the teams that pursue guys. Teams like the Jets, who just traded for Davante Adams. And even if you don't think he is the player that he once was, which he's not, and Aaron Rodgers is not the player that he once was, clearly not. This is at least an attempt to say, hey, we are trying. Hey, we are still in this. We don't view our 2-4 as the other teams that are 2-4. Remember, your record and depending on your success is based on your perspective. I root for the Denver Broncos. 3-3 with dead cap from Russell Wilson and a rookie quarterback and a top 10 defense. I'll take it. That's a really good season in my opinion. But there's other teams that are 3-3 and worse, and it's not a good season because they have their star quarterback making a lot of money. You know, say what you want about records. Does anybody have a worse situation right now than the Cleveland Browns? Not even the record doesn't even matter. They're paying a guy $230 million guaranteed, and they don't want him. Forget what the record is. They are in the worst situation in the NFL, and it's, in my opinion, it's not relatively close. But the Jets at least being willing to go and get this guy to pair with Aaron Rodgers, who your team is what your team is going to be at this point. And so even if we don't like Rodgers, and again, everyone's been using today because of the press conference last night, him throwing Mike Williams under the bus, it's all been used to attack Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not here to say that he doesn't deserve the criticism, because I think he does. But we can all criticize until we're blue in the face. That's not going to change anything. This is the Jets' reality. This is their quarterback. This is their team. And they are now deciding to say, hey, look, we still think our defense, regardless of the coach, has the personnel, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Quinnen Williams, that we still feel like we will be one of the better defenses in the NFL. They also feel like our offense with Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Alan Lazard, Garrett Wilson, and now Davante Adams is going to be good enough to succeed. And we think we are close enough, so we are going to go for it. Because you know you're all killing today as well. We're killing the Jets. Like, we have to pick a side. We're killing the Jets because, and again, this is not a claim that this is going to save the Jets season. I just want us to be fair. Everybody collectively is killing the Jets today because they got Davante Adams because of Aaron Rodgers, and we're also killing Jerry Jones because he spazzed on a reporter or radio host because the radio host called him out for not doing these things. So we got to pick one. Do we want the guy who does stuff or the guy who doesn't? Like, and who are we going to kill? Like, we have to make up our mind. And again, You are going to see teams quit. You are going to see some of these. Everybody in the first month of the season, they don't know if they're good, bad, otherwise. Specifically bad. Bad teams don't know they're bad to start off a season. This goes for NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. The Chicago White Sox did not wake up on day one and go, we are going to be the worst team of all time. That was never a thing in their mind. They thought they had a chance, quote unquote. We all talk ourselves into this. We all believe our team has a chance. I picked the Broncos to make the playoffs 6 out of 7 seasons, and they were arguably one of the 3 worst teams in the NFL during that stretch. Like, we all do that. So, again, Davante Adams is not the quote-unquote answer to fix the Jets. Aaron Rodgers at 40 is not the answer, quote-unquote, to fix the Jets. But if I'm a Jets fan, I at least feel better today than I did yesterday. Like, you lose the game on Monday night, you lose the game against Denver, you lose the game against the Vikings, and it just all feels like it's going downhill. Robert Saleh, who no one was going to defend as a great coach, he's out of there now. Aaron Rodgers, who's the quarterback that you deemed the franchise savior, he's still there, and now he has another weapon that he's familiar with in Davante Adams. Would you rather be the Raiders trading away Davante Adams and possibly another player? Would you rather be the Browns, who are stuck with that number 4 for several more years on a guaranteed contract? So again, I just want to be fair. If we're going to kill the Jets for attempting to do something and Jerry Jones for not doing anything, can we just pick a side? Can we decide which product or which tactic we really are going to attack? Like, I don't think the Jets are going anywhere. But I didn't think highly of the Jets going into the season. But if you had told me, and again, as a fan, would I want my team if I felt like they were close? And I do think Jets fans maybe delusionally think they're close. Yeah, I would want the team that's going after players. Moving on from there, man, have you guys looked at the NFC North? Do you realize how crazy this division is right now? Do you know the top 4 point differential teams, which is a big Vegas stat? Like, Vegas loves this. Vegas loves point differential and Vegas loves yards per play, both offensively and defensively. Those are usually how they get to their quote-unquote who are the best teams in the NFL. The NFC North has the top 4 point differential teams in the NFL, and they have the Detroit Lions, who, if you're a gambling person, every team that Detroit has played this season has lost the following week. Now, luckily, that cannot happen this week because the Cowboys are on a bye. But you have the Lions, who are maybe the best team in football as far as how they've played this year, or they're up there with Kansas City and Baltimore. We'll see power rankings coming up. You have the Minnesota Vikings, who are 5-0 with Sam Darnold, maybe the best coaching combination of O'Connell and Victor Flores in the NFL. You have the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams throwing 4 touchdown passes. Maybe the rookie of the year now that Jaden Daniels seems to have slowed down a little bit. And then you have Jordan Love in the Green Bay Packers, who he's also out here throwing 4 touchdowns and is finally back healthy and looks like he is going to be the quarterback they gave $250 million to. This division is stacked. And this division has great rosters. Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota. Chicago's, if you're not calling it a great roster, has great young players. Caleb Williams, Jordan Love. The Lions have maybe the best offense. I think, in my opinion, now that Philly feels like they have stepped back without Jason Kelce, the best offensive line in the National Football League and a great defensive line. We'll see what happens with the Aiden Hutchinson's injury was horrific. But this division, we always try to look for it, like, who's the best division in football? And coming into the season, it was the AFC North, because we expected Baltimore and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin just always kind of, they're always around there. And we knew the Browns had talent despite their quarterback position. There was a few years ago, it was the AFC West when all those free agents all those free agents went to Denver and the Chargers, and the Chiefs were obviously the Chiefs. But this is actually the best division in football, and it's not relatively close. They've all got 4+ wins. They've all got a whole bunch of talent. They've all got great quarterbacks. Yes, Jared Goff is in the great quarterback conversation. And Sam Darnold, who we might not look at that from a career perspective, obviously, but he has absolutely played this year as an elite high-end level quarterback. So the NFC North is just killing it, man. It's the best division by a mile. Everybody won last week in that division except the Vikings, who are on a bye. The Bears are on a bye this week, and if you look at the schedules, it looks like it's going to be another sweep for the NFC North. It's incredible. It's just, this division is, again, you got young players, you got old players playing well, you've got coaches, you've got, again, Matt LaFleur won 2 games with Malik Willis. Like, if him and O'Connell, who are in the great coaching debate, Dan Campbell's one of the great culture setters, you look at the overall rosters, like, this division has just literally everything. It's an embarrassment of riches for just one division.